Hey everybody, welcome to another Fun in 5. Bringing you today Concordia by Rio Grande Games. Concordia is a amalgamation of kind of card drafting, area control, economy management, push your luck, lots of different flavors and mechanics in this game. We've played it quite a few times and have enjoyed it each time and look forward to playing it again. Probably not today, but at some point in the next few months, I'm sure this will hit the table again. So what is it that we like about Concordia? First off, I like card play and drafting. So I've played Sushi Go, I've played Magic the Gathering, I've played Seven Wonders. Each of those have aspects of drafting and card play. And this game does it in another unique way. So what happens is each player has a hand of 7 cards, and they're never drawn at random. You get them all at the beginning of the game. Each turn you get to play one of those cards, but you can't play a card you've already played until you use an effect that allows you to draw them back up. Or your basically your hand runs out, you're forced to do a kind of a refresh turn. And so that's kind of neat that you're forced to play through every card if you want to take advantage of not missing a turn or not missing a beat. And at the same time, you can acquire new cards from this market. So it's a public market. They'll cost you money or goods to purchase these cards. And then once you acquire those cards, they'll allow you to play their abilities again, just like any other card in your hand. You can use it and then acquire it back up later. But it does have a double effect because not only do you get the ability of the card, they're also worth points at the end of the game. And that is a really cool aspect of it, the fact that you are building your hand to have abilities and then also using your hand for the points at the end of the game. Really, really cool how that works. And you may end up just hate drafting so your opponent can't get more points based on what you see they're doing on the board. Or you may want to have a certain ability and not care about the points on the card at all. So there's a couple different factors that influence when and why you would choose a card to draft into your hand or into your available cards. So that's the first thing. Second thing I like is the economy of the game. So the game has all kinds of goods here: cloth, wine, iron, wheat, and brick. And you acquire those by positioning yourself on the map and doing certain abilities that let you kind of get the goods from those areas of the map. And the economy works in different ways because you can spend money to get goods, you can sell goods to get money, because sometimes you may need certain goods in order to acquire certain cards, or you may need certain goods in order to make extra colonists onto the board. There's a lot at play and a lot of interaction that happens between coins and goods and cards and the map. And so I like that constant thinking. I'm always thinking, what am I going to do on my next turn? What am I going to do 3 turns from now? It's got you thinking the entire time, while at the same time watching the map and deciding which way you should go, hoping your opponents don't take control of something. Because if your opponent takes control of something, then you can no longer get goods from that particular spot or place a house there or whatever, a city there. So the map system is really cool. There's a little bit of area control when you're placing your cities and trying to figure out where the best advantage points are for you. And that's that. You have ships, you have colonists to move around with, and each turn you can move if you wish to, and it all works together quite well. All right, the fourth thing I like is it's a single card. It's called the Praefectus Magnus. And this is, if I skipped 3 was the map system. I'm losing track of time here. But the Praefectus Magnus is number 4. It's just a single card in the game. And the last player to go in the game gets this card, and they can use it if they want to on their turn, but they do not have to. But what it does, it gives them double the goods value that they might get from one of their properties when they use the card. So it could really help them influence how many goods they get in a turn, which could help them trigger when they could buy something, and it can make a little bit of a game-changing turn for them. But once they use the card, the catch is they have to give it to the player on their right. And then that player can use it if they wish it, anytime on any one of their turns. And if they use it, they pass it to the player on their right, and so on. So in a game, this card may never get used. It might get used once, or it might get used 14 times. Who knows? Depends what the players choose to do, if they think it's an advantageous card, if they want to give that perk to their opponents by using it themselves. And I thought that is a really cool aspect of the game, and any game could do it. They could just put one extra card in the game that could have a very minor influence on the game, but add that little bit of tension and thought behind it. I really like that one component in the game, and cards cost nothing to make. It's just a matter of, can you design a card that works well with a game system? And Concordia certainly did that. And then the last thing I like is the scoring system. So as I mentioned at the beginning, card play and drafting, you're drafting these cards, and at the end of the game, all the cards that you have in your hand or your discard pile, all the cards that you own in the game, are going to give you points based on the favor of the gods. There's 6 different gods: Vesta, Jupiter, Saturnus, Mercurius, Mars, and Minerva. And each of them give you points for different things that you're doing in the game. You may get points from Mars for how many colonists and ships you have on the board. You may get points from Jupiter for how many cities you've placed on the board. You may get points from Minerva for how many of a certain tile that you have control of. There's different things that you get points for. And so when you're drafting and purchasing your cards and planning out where to go, you always have to keep in mind not only cards that you started with, because every card that you started with does give you points, but also the cards that you draft. If you end up drafting 4 cards with Minerva, you're going to be very inclined to do things that would favor Minerva. But if you draft cards from 4 or 5 different gods, then you're going to be doing all kinds of things on the map to try to get some extra points. So I really like that interplay of the card drafting that I talked about at the beginning and the point system that happens at the end of the game. The first couple of times we played, we did not take advantage of these as well as we could. By the 3rd and 4th times, we really understood that if you really want to get a lot of points in this game, take advantage of these cards. The cards scale, so they start with a 1 and then they go to a 2 and a 3, and some of these cards in the 3 and the 4 may help you double or triple some of your points based on how many of the same god you end up with in your deck. So there you have it. That is my Fun in 5 for Concordia. We've had a lot of fun playing this game and learning the strategies and intricacies behind it, and I'm looking forward to getting it to the table again. If there's something you like about this game, absolutely let me know. Or have you played the expansion? I'd be curious to see how that adds to the game. We've only played the core game itself. So thank you for watching. Take care.